In audio that I have just made available publicly, Republican legislators in Ohio and Michigan are found discussing the end game for all of their anti trans laws. And in this conversation, which is 29 minutes long, you can hear them say that their end game is to end this for everyone, to ban trans care for everyone. This is shocking audio. I write about it in my story. It's 29 minutes long, but you can hear some of it here.
Senator Lindsay as well on board. You guys can jump in, just unmute your mic anytime you want if you got questions for Rep Click or Precia or comments or otherwise. By all means, jump in there if you guys have anything. And obviously, Senator Tice, too. Obviously, you've got a lot about this, too, which I respect so much from the Senate side. I'm grateful for you being here.
My whole thing is in terms of endgame. Why are we allowing these practices for anyone? You know, why would we stop this for anyone under 18, but not apply this for anyone over 18? It's harmful across the board, and I think that's something that we need to take into consideration in terms of the end game.
Uh, Rep Shriver, that's very smart thought there. And I think sometimes what we know legislatively is we have to take sometimes small bites. For minors, the prefrontal cortex is not yet developed. And in fact, that doesn't really develop to the age of 24. One of the things the governor did here, he made several mistakes, but one of the things he did do correctly is he actually put back in a couple things that I had to negotiate out, which one was getting the data. There is no requirements to report the data. I had that in there. It got negotiated out. He actually put that back in, which was a good thing. And then the other thing was, the Planned Parenthoods, they pass out, hormones like candy. And so he's put a stop to that. And that's where a lot of the adults will go.
I'm just saying, moreover, in addition to that, we have to be looking at the end game simultaneously, maybe even using that as a way to move the
Right.
window and to say, hey, this isn't just wrong for 0 to 18. This is wrong for
Yeah.
everyone, and we should not be allowing this to happen.
So the Reuters asked me one time after they said, do you feel bad because all of these states who are now blocking this procedure for children, they're having to close down their gender clinics, and that means the adults can't get these procedures either. I said, I don't feel bad at all. If they're trying to fund this off of the children, no, I'm actually pretty happy about it. But sometimes we just have to look at taking the one bite at a time, doing it incrementally. The opposition's pretty good about doing that, and it gets them where they want to go. And when you put everything into one pot, it's going to be harder for you to get any legislation across the finish line. So take off a bite-sized portion of it. Understand that it is going to have future consequences along the way.
I did want to say that I've kind of been waiting for a state or a representative or anyone to kind of be brave enough to address that. And I just wanted to throw out that this is the angle I would go about it. So first of all, I agree with both and everyone. It is easier to handle the kids because of what we understand about consent. I think pretty much all of us hopefully can agree that children can't consent. However, I also think that people in grave mental distress or who are extremely mentally ill also can't consent. On top of that, telling a suicidal person either take this experimental treatment or die by your own hands, that's unethical and that's not ethically obtained consent. And then even if all of that is out of the way, they're not a child and they're a mentally well adult, no one can consent to a lie.
It's an inspiration to hear what you guys did and the work over there. It truly is. I'm on the state line of Indiana, but Ohio is very close to my home right now too. But so grateful for your guys' courageousness there, and then really sets the tone for the rest of us across the country.
And keep your mind open to banning this for all people. This is something that is harmful whether you're 18, 19, 20, or older, and that's something that if we aim for the moon, we'll land in the stars. If we try to ban it for everyone, we should easily ban this for kids.
Well, Rep Shriver, I don't disagree with the harm that it does to anybody. I just, we'll chat offline about, all this good stuff. And like Rep Click mentioned too.
And what else can I say than we told you so? This was never about the protection of kids or the sanctity of women's sports. This is about elimination. It's about trying to make sure that trans people do not exist. They don't believe that care should be available to anybody because they don't believe that anybody should be able to be trans. I hope that this changes things. I hope that in the future, whenever trans people say that these laws that are targeting us, they're meant to erase us, I hope that you listen to us. Because these are the Republican legislators themselves speaking for themselves. Representative Click, he was the one who wrote the law in Ohio, the one that was just vetoed by the governor and then overridden by the Ohio legislature. Anyway, you can listen to more of the audio on my story